In this section, we're going to implement a search feature and learn about the filtering capabilities of your GraphQL API. The search will be available under a new route and implemented in a new React component. Start by creating a new file called search.js in the components directory and add the following code. Again, this is a pretty standard setup. We're going to render an input field where the user can type a search string. Notice here that the links field in the component state will hold all the links to be rendered. So this time we're not accessing query results through component props. We'll also touch on the with Apollo function that you're using when exporting the component in a bit. Now let's add the search component as a new route to the app. Open app.js and update the render function to look as follows. Let's also import the search component on top of the file. For the user to be able to comfortably navigate to the search functionality, you should also add a new navigation item to the header. Open header.js and put a new link between new and submit. You can now navigate to the search functionality using the new button in the header. Great! Let's go back to the search component and see how we can implement the actual search. Open search.js and add the following query definitions to the bottom of the file. This query looks similar to all links, and it's used in linked list. However, this time it takes in an argument called search text and specifies a filter object that will be used to specify conditions on the link that you want to retrieve. In this case, you're specifying two filters that account for the following two conditions. A link is only returned if either its URL contains the provided search text, or its description contains the provided search text. Both conditions can be combined using the OR operator. Perfect. The query is defined, but this time we actually want to load the data every time the user hits the search button. This is why we're using with Apollo. All it does is injects a new prop into the search component called client. This client is precisely the Apollo client instance that you're creating in index.js, and now it's directly available inside search. The client has a method called query, and you can use this method to send a query manually instead of using the GraphQL HOC. Here's what the code looks like. Open up search.js and implement execute search as follows. This implementation is almost trivial. You're executing the all links search query manually. We're retrieving the links from the response that's returned by the server to finally put them into component state where they can be rendered. Go ahead and test the app by running yarn start in the terminal and navigating to localhost 3000/search. Then type a search string into the text field, click the search button, and we should verify the links that are returned fit the filter conditions.